Hello, everyone, and welcome in where every room has a story. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get started. Tonight's story is a difficult one, not just because of how young the victim was, but because of where she was when her life ended and how it happened. This is the story of Lizbeth Medina, a 16-year-old cheerleader whose dreams were cut short inside her own home. And nearly 2 years later, her family is still fighting to be heard. Lizbeth Medina was a cheerleader at Edna High School in Texas. Her family says that whenever she cheered on the sidelines, her face would absolutely light up. Such a beautiful young girl. She dreamed of becoming a nurse. She talked about the future often. She made plans. Lisbeth was raised by her mother, Jacqueline Medina, who gave birth to her at just 16 years old. The two grew up together, and they were very close. Lisbeth was also deeply connected to her extended family. Her grandparents, aunts, cousins, uncles were a constant present in her life. Her aunt, Anna Medina, described her as focused, loving, responsible, and joyful. Lisbeth was not a reckless teenager. This was a young girl who had direction, who had dreams. Lisbeth and her mother originally lived in Nebraska, but about a year before her death, they moved to Edna, Texas, after Jacqueline accepted a new job in renewable energy. It was supposed to be a fresh start, a new town, a new school, a new cheer squad, and by all accounts, Lisbeth was adjusting well. On December 5th, 2023, Lisbeth was supposed to be with her cheerleading squad at a Christmas parade. She never showed up. That immediately raised concerns. According to her family, Lisbeth was responsible. She didn't just skip commitments. When Jacqueline realized her daughter hadn't arrived at the parade, she went home to check in on her. What she found inside that apartment at the Cottonwood Apartments would change her life forever. When Jacqueline entered the apartment, she found Lizbeth unresponsive in the bathtub. Her daughter was still in her pajamas, suggesting she had just been getting ready for school. Jacqueline called 911. Police arrived and pronounced Lizbeth deceased at the scene. She was just 16 years old. Investigators later confirmed that Lizbeth did not die accidentally. A preliminary autopsy revealed that Lizbeth had been stabbed and her death was ruled a homicide. This was a violent act committed against a teenage girl inside her own home, a place that should have been safe. One of the most important factors in this case is Lizbeth did not know the man accused of killing her. There was no relationship, no friendship, no romantic connection. According to police, there was no reason for him to be in her home. About 1 month before Lizbeth was found deceased, police responded to a break-in at the same apartment complex. Investigators later said they believed the suspect in Lizbeth's death was connected to that earlier incident. Then, the night before Lizbeth was found, surveillance cameras captured someone driving through the apartment complex in a silver car around 10 p.m. At that time, no one knew what it meant. By the next day, Lizbeth was gone. Authorities also say that after Lizbeth was found, the suspect allegedly took her phone. Police believe he used it to send messages to her friends, making it appear as though Lizbeth was still alive. For her family, this was another layer of cruelty on top of an already unimaginable loss. Police arrested Rafael Govia Romerio in connection with Lizbeth's death. He was charged with capital murder. At the time of the killing, authorities say Romero was undocumented and had an expired visa. For Lizbeth's family, the arrest brought some relief, but not peace. Lizbeth's family attempted to organize a candlelit vigil at her high school, but it was canceled due to concerns about safety while the suspect was still at large. They later set up a GoFundMe to help cover funeral and memorial expenses. Her aunt described Jacqueline as inconsolable, as any parent would be. Now let's talk about the plea deal. And this is really where the anger begins. As time passed, the case moved through the legal system. Eventually, prosecutors offered Ramiro a plea deal. Instead of going to trial, he would plead guilty and receive 2 life sentences plus an additional 20-year sentence with the possibility of parole after 30 years under Texas law. Parole is not guaranteed, but the possibility alone devastated Lisbeth's family. Her mother felt blindsided. She says she was never asked if she was okay with the deal. She says the decision had already been made. Things became even more painful when the family saw comments made publicly by the lead prosecutor discussing the cost of pursuing capital cases. Are you kidding me? The prosecutor made public comments about the cost of pursuing capital cases, which I feel was very disrespectful to the family. To Elizabeth's mother, it felt like her daughter's life had been weighed against a budget. And rightfully so, she had every reason to feel that way. That pain has never gone away. It's like pouring salt on an open wound. Make that make sense. Ultimately, Ramiro pleaded guilty. He will serve 2 life sentences for murder and aggravated robbery, plus 20 years for another charge. Under Texas law, he will be eligible for parole consideration after 30 years, though release is not guaranteed. Prosecutors later stated the plea deal had been discussed for months and confirmed with all parties, but for Lisbeth's family, the process left them feeling unheard. Lizbeth Medina should be an adult now. She should be thinking about college, about nursing school, about cheering on Fridays, and planning her future. Instead, her mother is left with memories in a quiet apartment where her daughter should still be. This story isn't just about a plea deal. It's about a teenage girl who never got the chance to grow up. This is so devastating. My thoughts go out to the Medina family at this time. Thank you for taking the time to hear me. I'll see you next time, right here, where every room has a story. I'm your host, Lisa, and until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and take care.